Dear student, I'm starting your lecture 11 for MOSFET. Let us see the first topic about handling precaution for MOSFET. See, this is the cross-section view of the MOSFET. You already know that. This is your bulb or substrate. Here, there is a SiO2 layer is very thin. This SiO2 layer is very thin. This is drain. This is your source, and here is your channel. This is the channel, right? And you know that you made some arrangement for the connection with drain. This is the source, and here is the gate. This SiO2 layer is very thin. This SiO2 layer is very thin and highly susceptible. It is highly susceptible and easily punctured if any extra charge is discharged from either terminal to the SiO2 layer. So MOSFET will be destroyed. Once this is punctured, then MOSFET will be destroyed. See how it is, what are the chances, what are the way it will be punctured. First, you take the MOSFET in your hand, and when the MOSFET is slide in a plastic bag, when you are sliding the MOSFET in a plastic bag, then due to friction, due to friction of MOSFET lead with plastic bag covers, you can say, then charge will be transferred to the MOSFET, and there is a transformation of the charge takes place between the lead and plastic, you can say surface of the plastic bag. As a result, this SiO2 layer will be punctured. Second possibility, this is the first possibility. In a dry atmosphere, the potential of the person will be of the order of 300 to 400 volt. And when that person scraping the lead or brushes the lead of the MOSFET against some grounded object, when person brushes the lead of the MOSFET against some grounded object, then large electrostatic discharge takes place. As a result, this SiO2 layer will be punctured. To avoid this problem, one ring is used one ring is used that covers all four lead of the MOSFET, and MOSFET should not be inserted or desoldered or soldered in a circuit when power supply is on. When power supply switch is on, then MOSFET should not be soldered or desoldered in a circuit. Second precaution one has to take, this is the first precaution. Second precaution, whenever you are soldering any MOSFET, then you have to take the care, tip of the soldering gun should be grounded. So tip of the soldering gun should be grounded while MOSFET is soldered or you are removing from the circuit. So this is, we have discussed about the handling precaution of the MOSFET. In after one or two topics we will see we'll keep a diodes between the gate and source, that we will see after some topic. Now let us discuss another important topic, most important topic, dual gate MOSFET. See, what is the conclusion of this topic, handling precaution of our MOSFET? First, why precaution? Why you have to take the precaution? Because, see, just I am telling you conclusion. Because this is very thin. SiO2 layer is very thin. So it can be easily punctured by transferring the excessive voltage or any electrostatic discharge. So what are the way the discharge takes place? If you slide the MOSFET in a plastic bag, one, or any person brushes his lead against some grounded object, so some electrostatic discharge takes place and this will be destroyed. To avoid this problem, you are not supposed to solder the MOSFET when power supply switch is on, or you are not supposed to remove or solder the MOSFET in a circuit when power supply is on. Second, when it is soldered in a circuit, then tip of the soldering iron should be grounded. These two, you take the precaution. Now I am starting the next topic, dual gate MOSFET. Dual gate MOSFET. See, we have seen the difference between JFET and MOSFET. We have seen difference between JFET and MOSFET. There is no significant advantage of using MOSFET than over the FET or JFET. See, there is no significant, listen carefully, there is no significant advantages of using a MOSFET than the FET. So why? Only one advantage is that the input resistance of MOSFET will be very large, is very large compared to JFET. There is only one advantage. Second thing, if you see the value of CGD for JFET is maximum is on 1 pF, and for MOSFET it is 1 to 5 pF like this. So CGD is a capacitance from drain to gate, between drain to gate. This is of the same order, I can say. This value for MOSFET and JFET is of the same order. You see the difference we have written. Okay, it is of the same order. Then as a result, you can say high frequency response of the JFET and MOSFET are nearly same. Just slightly high frequency response of the MOSFET is more than the what JFET, but will not get so much advantage. If you want to get the advantage, then you have to think about the another gate. Means if you introduce, see the figure, if you introduce one more gate, if you introduce one more gate in a MOSFET or one more gate is insulated gate is introduced in a MOSFET, then significant advantage is obtained. Look here, what kind of the significant advantage you can obtain, see here, and that is called dual gate MOSFET. Once you add one more gate in a MOSFET, then it is called dual gate MOSFET. So if you want to get the significant advantage, then one insulated gate should be inserted in a MOSFET. So look here, I am showing you the cross-sectional view of it. This is your cross-sectional view of it. View of N-channel depletion type MOSFET. Depletion type MOSFET. And look here. See, this is your, here I am showing you one block. This block is a source. Here I have taken its terminal out for connection. This is your source. Here I am showing you this is N type. This is your again N type block, and this is called drain. Here I am showing you gate 1. This is your metal connection. Gate 1. This is the another contact point of a metal. This is a gate 2. You can see, yes. So you introduce the one more gate. You can see here, you introduce one more gate. This is a gate 2 you have introduced. This is your channel. This is a channel number 1. Channel number 1. Here I am showing you this is a second channel. Channel number 2. So this figures is the cross-sectional view of a N-channel depletion type MOSFET. Okay. So this gate is introduced, and this is your connection is taken out for the drain. This is a gate number 2 you have introduced. The symbol of this dual gate MOSFET is like this. This is a gate number 1, gate number 2. This is your drain. These are source, this is a bulb, or this can be connected like this also. Already I told you, some manufacturers gives in this way also. So this is a symbol of a N channel, depletion type, dual gate MOSFET. This is drain, this is a source. So this drain is here, this source is here, this is your gate 1, this is your gate 2. So in this middle block work ऐसे, you can say this work ऐसे, drain for MOSFET 1 and source for MOSFET 2. I can say, I can represent, this is nothing but this is a 2 unit, unit 1, unit 2. So dual gate MOSFET can be represented by 2 MOSFET is connected in series. So I'll show you like this, in series in this way. This is a drain, this is a source, this is called unit 2, this is a gate 2, this is a gate 1, this is your source, this is the source for unit 1, this is a drain, this is a unit 1, this is unit 2. You can see the middle block, see in a previous one, middle block is this is a middle block. In middle block, it works as a drain for unit 1, it works as a source for unit 2. This work as a drain for 1, I have written for 1 here, for unit number 1. This also work as a source for unit number 2. So you can represent dual gate MOSFET by connecting 2 MOSFET in series. Here drain current is controlled. Drain current is controlled by giving a negative voltage on the either of the gate. Either this gate you make it negative or this gate you make it negative, then current will be controlled. Current is controlled, remember. Either you can make, if you make a sufficient gate voltage negative, so this channel is cut off. If this channel is cut off, current does not flow here. If by the sufficient negative voltage here, current does not flow, means depletion layer will be formed and it block the entire region, then current is not flow. It means by making sufficient negative voltage, by giving the sufficient negative voltage to the gate 1 or gate 2, the MOSFET can be cut off from the drain current. So you can use this MOSFET, dual gate MOSFET, in AGC circuit, automatic gain control circuit, or mixer circuit. So that we'll see. Now let us see its characteristics. Characteristics of this MOSFET. See, I am showing you the characteristics of the MOSFET here. This is your, I am writing here, characteristics. See, I am plotting the graph of, I am plotting the graph here. Here is not sufficient space. So I am writing here characteristics. I am plotting a graph of drain current versus drain current versus VG1S for a different value of VG2S. I am showing you like this. This is VG2S is equal to 0, VG2S is equal to 1 volt, VG2S is equal to 2 volt, VG2S is equal to 4 volt. I am showing you like this. This is the characteristics of a dual gauge MOSFET. Okay. And means you are keeping this voltage here, you are changing this and you are measuring the current, keeping this is 0, vary this, keep this 0, vary this voltage, not down the drain current, keep this is 1 volt, vary this and not down the current, drain current. By this way you plotted this graph, and this graph just for your explanation I am writing. At some value of the VG1 is S is equal to 0.5 voltage, you say you will get here 2 milliampere, you will see you will get 11 milliampere. Means what I want to say here, I want to say here, as you change the gate voltage 2, then current is changing. It means this second unit can be represented by variable resistor. Second unit can be represented by variable resistor. This is your gate number 1. This is a unit 2, you can say. Unit 1. What this graph shows that? This graph shows that you fix this value. With this value is fixed. This value is fixed. I can show in a different way also. This value you have fixed, be fixed, VG1 as 0.5. We vary this voltage from 0 to 4 voltage. As you keep from 0 to 4 voltage, you are getting the variation of the current. You can see that you are getting the variation in current. You are getting the variation in current what I have written. Look here, it's a perfect. See, at 0, 2 milliampere. At 4 volt, you get like this. Means when VG1S is equal to 0.5, VG2S is equal to 4 volt, 0 volt, your drain current is 2 milliampere. Now, as VG2S is increased, your drain current is 11 milliampere for VG1S is equal to 0.5 volt. So means due to this property, your drain current is changing. So I am showing this work as a variable resistor. You can show like this. Unit 2. Now, if you draw the graph of forward transconductance, if you draw the graph of forward transconductance, if you draw the graph of forward transconductance versus I am showing you graph of forward transconductance versus VG1S you are getting like this. See, this is VG2S is equal to minus 0.5 volt, VG2S is 0 volt, VG2S is equal to 1 volt, VG2S is equal to 2 volt, VG2S is equal to 4 volt. Then for VG1S is equal to 0.5 volt, you will get this is micromho. As you keep your VG1 is what 0.5, now you change the voltage VG2S from 0 to 4 volt, your forward transconductance VG1 is equal to 0.5 volt, VG2S is equal to 0 volt, your forward transconductance is 1500 micromho. Keep this is constant, and if you changing this, then forward transconductance is also increased. Means control is increased. Forward transconductance shows the control, so control is increased. So this show that dual gate MOSFET gives the more benefit over the FET or JFET. Reason is, look here, reason. Big control is good. GFS, you say GFS show the control on drain current by the gate voltage, so control is good. Second, see, insulation between the gate 1 and drain is very large. Gate 1 and drain is very large. Due to large value of the insulation, is CGD will be very small. CGD is of the order of, I'll say, 0.005 pf to 0.003 pf of a dual gate MOSFET. So it can be used as a dual gate MOSFET can be used as a high frequency amplification. It can amplify up to 500 megahertz. Reason is that you have to select these as a input. If you want to amplify any high frequency, then input should be given to the G1. Input should be given to the G1, gate 1. As a result, the CGD between these two is very small, 0.003 pf. So your dual gate MOSFET can amplify up to the signal frequency 500 megahertz. 500 megahertz. If you want to use as a AGC circuit, if you want to use as a AGC circuit, then reverse AGC you have to connect to the gate number 2. These are input signal. The reverse AGC you have to connect to the gate number 2, and here is the input signal. So in this way you can get more benefit of a dual gate MOSFET compared to the MOSFET, or you can say JFET. Here I am keeping this topic is over.